What's going on, wrestling fans? We are live right back at right now, directly after a pretty good episode of SmackDown. The ending I hated. We will cover that, but right now I'm gonna bring up New York Yankee Mania. New York Yankee Mania, come on up. Hey, what's going on, Joe?
Hello, TJ. What's going on, man?
Nothing much. We just came off a wild episode of SmackDown. I'm ready to talk about it and also review some Raw stuff. I am excited to dive into this stuff with some John Cena, stuff with some Jey Uso, as you saw in the beginning. Let's do this. I figure we start off, with Raw. Does that sound good to you?
Sounds good. I want to give a quick hello, though, to Victor, nosebleed section. How's it
Yes.
going?
What's going on, guys?
Bob Rizzo, how are you doing? Kevin, how are you? Ava, how's it going?
Hey,
Thanks for
nosebleed
joining
section.
us. Evan, our partner from our co-host on NY Yankee Mania. How's it going? Go ahead.
What's going on today? Hey, Victor. Hey, Nosebleed section. Thank you so much for the subscription, Nosebleed section. What's going on, Evan? How are we doing, guys? We are in for a pretty good recap and a review tonight. So I think we should just start off with Monday Night Raw this week. All right, and what's going on, Big Mama? All right, let's do this. December 1st, 2025. Okay. So the night starts off with Jey Uso and LA Knight in the semifinals of the Last Time Is Now tournament, and Jey Uso loses and LA Knight progresses in this Last Time Is Now tournament. Now, my question, Joe, is: do you think this was the right call? Do we think that this was the right call? Do we think that do we think that Jey Uso should have been pushed more? Has Jey Uso been pushed enough? And do we think that LA Knight is ready for this kind of big push towards stardom?
Well, they've been pushing him around too much, though. LA Knight, he's always like a big shot, and then he gets shot down. So
Yeah.
I thought it was kind of the right call. I also thought that Uso would turn. He didn't turn, but are they gearing up for a big turn? Maybe at Saturday night's main event.
I could.
What do you guys in the chat think? Let us know, and we'll talk about it. Go ahead.
All right, so yeah, I mean, not too much to say about that match. Jey Uso and LA Knight did have a match, and LA Knight won the match, and he progresses to the finals of the Last Time Is Now tournament. That's what happens there. Okay. Next thing that happens, as we saw, if you guys watched Survivor Series, or if you tuned in with us when we did our Survivor Series play-by-play, Liv Morgan returned to Survivor Series alongside the Judgment Day and turned on John Cena. Technically, it was a turn on John Cena. Yeah, I guess so. And cost him the match, right? And Liv Morgan on the Judgment Day come back. What's up, Chef Nick? And Liv Morgan and the Judgment Day come out, and Liv Morgan says, "I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to see you all. We're going to restore the Judgment Day to its former glory. We're going to get these titles back." She doesn't seem to be having a problem with Roxanne Perez. And my question here is, what I honestly think that Liv would have been really upset at Dominic by now because of all the stuff that's going on with Roxanne Perez. I personally think that this relationship stuff is getting a little tiring. I think, Dominic Mysterio, Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan, that was good. That was a really good, drama situation there. But I don't know. It's kind of, it's okay. What's going on? Whammer jammer. But Joe, what do you think? Is this relationship stuff getting a little too stale?
Yes. Yeah, I'm tired of it. Let's move on. And, there are a lot of rumors out there, TJ, that WWE is going to have to get their act together because they have some angry people. ESPN is not exactly thrilled with content and things that are going on. Netflix is poured in a ton of money, and they don't think they're getting the dollar for their buck. Even with the John Cena retirement, some things are going to have to change. They're really going to have to change, DJ, because it'd be crazy if they lose the deal, at least with ESPN. And And I think a lot of people are for that because that ESPN app has been having a lot of trouble. A lot of people are getting disgusted with it.
Because you bring that entire those millions of people from WWE fan base over from Peacock to ESPN, which already has a lot of people because they carry what do they have? They have the NBA, they have NHL, they have what else do they have? Do they have football? Do they have NFL?
Yes.
Yeah, they have everything. They're ESPN. They have almost all the sports. And I think that WWE really added a load onto them because the wrestling fan base is so diverse. It's so expansive. There's millions of people all the time that watch these premium live events and that are going to be pretty pissed off that they're not seeing the live event. What's going on, Johnny? How are we feeling? But yeah, I mean, a good example of that before we move on, WrestlePalooza, their first event on ESPN. ESPN only gave it, I think it was a 6.5, like a C. Is that correct?
Yes.
Didn't they give it? ESPN was not too pleased with that whole pay-per-view. And I mean, neither was I. I thought it was kind of dumb how they made John Cena lose to Brock Lesnar. I thought it wasn't a very well-rounded pay-per-view. A well-rounded pay-per-view, if you want an example of one, was this past Survivor Series. I don't know if you agree with me, Joe, but that pay-per-view was pretty well-rounded, if I do say so.
Yeah, no, I again, it's crazy moves, but they better get their act together, TJ. But you know what scares me, and that's going off, not really going off the topic, but what's bothering me is this all happening so that we could let the door back into Vince McMahon? That's what worries me for Saturday night's main event. And if they cater to him, does that mean he's all in again? I don't want him there. I'm sorry. He doesn't belong there. He's not kids friendly. He's not anything anymore. He's past the prime. He's in his 80s now. Enough already. If they're going to depend on Vince McMahon to go forward, WWE is in trouble.
I mean, I totally agree with you. That that Vince McMahon is a disgusting person. I never liked Vince McMahon, especially after that Netflix documentary came out and all this stuff and the allegations came out against him. Again, I was never the biggest fan of Vince McMahon. But yeah, I mean, and I don't know if I could see them going in the direction of putting Vince McMahon back into power because I think they are smart enough to not do that, especially since Triple H took over. But then again, they're also making some pretty dumb decisions right now. I'm not sure. If we look at the broader scheme of things, we do know that they are all about the ching, that money, as we can see with TKO and the advertisements and the growing capitalism. But yeah, it's an interesting situation. I don't know if I see it. I don't know if I see it going towards Vince McMahon. But if it does turn to Vince McMahon, I'm going to be pretty upset. Yeah. See, John Salami says, imagine Vince coming back. I mean, it's a very interesting situation. I don't see it in the realm of possibility. I have heard a lot of rumors circulating around it. Is Vince McMahon going to be at John Cena's last match? Me personally, I don't really know if it matters too much as long as he doesn't go into management again. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. But if they focus a lot on him, then I think WWE fans and universe has to worry. I mean, the plan is that he's actually gonna sit next to President Trump. So I don't know how that's going to work out, but in the storyline, they're bitter enemy. They are bitter enemies. So they may bring that in. I don't know, but the bottom line is it's calling for an incredible Saturday night's main event, and with the luck of the draw, I'm really hoping that that everything looks good, that we can call that Saturday night's main event. I think it's going to be history in the making.
No, yeah, 100%. I'm excited for it. I will let you guys know if we are doing the play-by-play. I will let you know as soon as I can. But in the meantime, let's continue covering this past Raw. So after Liv Morgan came out, AJ Styles and Dragon Lee versus the New Day for the championships, for the tag team championships, and I think it's no surprise that AJ Styles and Dragon Lee retained. Is there anything we really need to talk about there?
No.
Yeah,
New Day looks ridiculous.
New
I
Day
don't
does
like
look
their
ridiculous.
look. And
I don't like this new heel look. I mean,
No.
I know that characters get stale or whatever, but I think that's just that's the whole thing. Being silly, tossing pancakes into the crowd. Xavier Woods with a trombone. I think that was kind of their whole thing, and that's how they rose to that superstardom that they that they were. You remember Joe? That whole New Day phase where everyone loved the New Day, and rightfully
everybody
so.
loved them. They were throwing pancakes, they were throwing cereal, and
it was hard to not love them.
New Day rocks.
Yep.
New Day rocks. And now they want to like throw them in the garbage. I mean, really, it's terrible. It really is.
No, yeah, I completely agree with you. I don't like this new look that they're going with. I do hope that the New Day maybe soon can go back to being faces, but I highly doubt it right now. I think there would have to be some major storyline developments if they wanted to have that happen. But let's move on. Next thing that happened, it was just a promo, and Braun Breaker and the Vision all came out. And they said, and he basically told CM Punk, he was like, yeah, I don't know who that was, who attacked you at Survivor Series, but I'm still really pissed at you, and I want a match with you on January 5th, that episode of Raw, the 1 year anniversary of Netflix on Raw. What's going on, Nissan Sports Rush? How are we feeling? Now, chat, guys, and Joe, my question is, who do we think this masked man is? But before we answer the question, I do want to say that I have backpedaled, and I don't think it's Chris Jericho, and you guys have convinced me otherwise. I do think it is Austin Theory.
Yep.
I think Joe can agree with me on that.
It's definitely Austin Theory.
Yeah. See, we see Nosebleed Section saying Austin Theory, and because I made a short on this topic, and I saw a comment that said, no way that's Chris Jericho. He can't climb the cage that fast. He's very old. And
yeah, really.
As much as that comment is kind of funny, it's completely right. There's no way that he, climbed up and performed all those moves that fast. I think that really is Austin Theory under that mask.
No, without a doubt. First of all, Austin Theory is a little taller than Chris Jericho. That's number one. Number two, you could see there's just a difference. Jericho has a certain look. If you're a Jericho-holic fan, you know what that look is. And that was not Jericho at all. No question about it. It was Theory. This is their way to bring him back and start a big feud, which I don't even think it's that terrific. I think Punk will beat the crap out of him. I really do.
I hope
if they go that way.
No,
Hey, I want to welcome John the Beagle Dad. How you doing?
Thank you for complimenting my chair, John. This is not even like the actual chair. If you look behind it, this is the actual chair. This is just a pad that I put on it, and it attaches to the back of the chair, and it lights up. And I plug it into my PC. My PC is it's right down here, but it's like it's right, down there, under there. But this is just a pad. It's not the actual chair, but appreciate it, man. It was a Christmas gift from a couple years ago. I love it.
It's nice.
Thank you.
Victor has, according to Vince Russo, it's not Austin Theory. He believes they don't even know yet, and that makes most sense. Vince Russo, he leaves a lot to be desired. He's not well liked everywhere, he could be right, but I just don't see it. I'm pretty sure because Austin Theory is now healthy and ready to go. So that's why I think it's definitely Austin Theory.
No, yeah. I mean, I think if they're going to give Austin Theory a push, I think it would have to be now. And if it is Austin Theory, they played it out perfectly. But yeah, I mean, especially after all that stuff that happened with him and Grayson Waller, I think that was a good opportunity. Okay, Gunther and LA Knight are now in the finals of the last time is now tournament, which happened on Raw. Now we will get to that. The results of that are on SmackDown. We are getting to that. That is later in the show. Before we move on, Big Mama says, all seriousness, could it be The Rock? He lost a lot of weight, and you know what? You are right, Big Mama. He did lose a lot of weight, but here's the thing: like he's just so the person that went in there, very agile. I don't think The Rock now is as agile as that guy was. And I think the only person that it could be would be Austin Theory because he's young and his body's not as old as The Rock's. He has less experience being thrown down onto the ring. I think it would have to be Austin. I think it would have to be Austin Theory. I mean, the Rock's a great guess. Thank you for suggesting it, but I don't know if I don't know because I don't know if The Rock is that agile though. That's the thing though. Okay, so
Probably is, but
he probably is that agile, but like, hold on, let's see, how old is The Rock? How old is
I believe he's
The Rock?
52.
He is 53.
53.
The Rock is 53. And hold on. And how old is Austin Theory? And Austin Theory is 28 years old.
28. I was just going to say that.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like the way he climbed the cage was like, so it was like bang, 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 and then he just stomped him and ran out. It was like, he was quick on his feet. I don't know, but thank you for the suggestion. Anyways, main event of Raw: Rhea Ripley and Io Sky versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, for a shot at those tag team titles because they're both ultimately after those. And Rhea Ripley and Io Sky won, and I am glad that they did because I love Rhea. You guys all know I love Rhea Ripley, but I also love Io Sky. Now, Joe, my question to you is, what do you think about Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, and do you think that they should be getting pushed this much?
No, because I believe Rhea Ripley should be singles competition. I've been saying it from the first time we ever came on the air. She should be the WWE champion. She is what it is. People cling to her. None of this Alexa Bliss or any of this that they have going on. And I mean, you want to give it to somebody, then keep it with Tiffany Stratton. But don't overlook Rhea Ripley. I don't like this. She's in the prime of the life. You can't overlook her. Millions and millions and millions. Now I sound like The Rock. Millions of people love Rhea Ripley.
No, yeah.
Give her due. She should be champion. Enough already.
No, yeah. I think this is the most popular she's ever going to get. I think it is a dumb move to not make her some sort of champion. I think that. Oh, yeah, I was just about to mention Jade Cargill in the nosebleed section. Rhea versus Jade would be a fantastic match. And I honestly think right now the best move would be taking the title off Jade, giving it to Rhea Ripley, because I don't know if I'm correct on this. I think Jade Cargill is younger than Rhea Ripley. Is that true? I'm gonna
look it.
I'm going to check. Hold on.
I think Jay's in like 30. I want to say like 32. I mean, I might be wrong, but I'm not sure.
Oh no, you are right. Okay, well, Rhea Ripley is actually younger than her. I didn't know that. Okay, well, okay, so I can't use the argument that she's younger. So good, internet sleuthing. But I don't think I think Rhea Ripley in terms of popularity is at the height of it's off the charts. Is at the height of her career. What's up, Sean Browning? I think truly that we should be giving her the championship right now instead of pairing.
Enough with fooling around. Give it to Ripley and no Charlotte Flair and no Bliss and no this and no that. And couldn't they make up their mind what they're going to do with Bayley? I'm sick and tired. One day she's good, one day she's bad, one day she's in the middle. One day she helps a good guy, one day she helps a bad guy. What is she? Could you make up your mind, WWE creators? Make up your mind. She's not a toy.
And she's also not like Roman Reigns, like a tweener. She's not a tweener. She's literally going either full face or full heel. It's that situation that I have no clue why they're doing it.
I really feel bad for her because she could hold her own. She could definitely hold her own. But they don't give her a chance. This is the problem with WWE that I've had for many, many, many years. They don't trust, they trusted people like Hulk Hogan. Okay. But there's only so many Hulk Hogans that are out there. But if you don't try, you don't know. And exactly. I'm tired of it. Let's do what they need to do. And you watch, the numbers on ESPN will climb. The numbers on Netflix will climb. They're not going to climb this way.
No, yeah, I mean, you're completely right. I mean, I do think they should make up their mind at some point, regarding Bayley, because it is getting a little stale. I see. Wait, who said it in the chat? I see Nosebleed Section said Bayley's character is split personality. Bipolar disorder. And I could see that. I could 100% see that. But it's not, drawing. It's not, drawing the attention of viewers, because viewers have no idea what's happening. Viewers have no idea whether to root for her or not root for her, because they have no idea, if she's actually on Lyra's side. Which viewers already are skeptical about Lyra Valkyria. I mean, she's new. She's very passionate. I like Lyra Valkyria, but I know there are a lot of people that aren't too sure about Lyra Valkyria, and
some of them can't even say her name.
Yeah, and there are some people that prefer Bayley just because she has seniority over Lyra Valkyria. But the bottom line is, if you're not going to make up your mind about these people, and if you're not going to cater to the audience, you're not going to get those viewers that you want to get, especially from a big deal like Netflix.
Big Mama says, Joe, did you ever think of being a wrestling manager? You would be amazing. Well, to be honest with you, at Madison Square Garden, I was asked a few times when I was actually patrolling and guarding Vince McMahon's wife and daughter, Stephanie and Linda. And they asked me, I could put on a mask and go in there and cause havoc. And I said, if you think I'm going to be picked up and body slammed, or they wanted to actually throw me in the garbage can at Gate 51 in Madison Square Garden, and they wanted to give me like $500 for it, and I said, absolutely not.
Yeah, but that would have been the experience of a lifetime, though.
Not for me. I am not going to be picked up in a body slam or put in an airplane spin. That is out of the question. I would never, ever do that. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Seeing Stephanie grow up to a dynamite woman, a beautiful woman. The family was always nice to me. Even Vince with all his shenanigans, he was okay too. But the best one was Triple H. Triple H has always been an amazing character. And I really, when things settle down, I would love to have him on this show, and I will do what I can, work on magic to get. We're working some magic, guys. So just hang in there with us and give us a chance.
I want to bring up a couple comments here. Johnny Salami says, Joe, TJ, and Victor can run their own wrestling company. Appreciate it, man. We are working, we're going on the podcast. We are having a very fun time here. Second comment, I wanna go off. Yeah, I was literally about to bring up this one. Joe's back would have been broke forever, LOL. And then we also have another comment that says, if I Show Speed, wait, Joe, do you know who I Show Speed is? Do you know, besides that he was in the Royal Rumble, do you know who he is?
Who's this? I was looking at that with
Do you know?
Bryson.
Do you know who I Show Speed is? Besides that, he was in the Royal Rumble.
No.
I Show Speed. Okay, and if you guys don't know this in the chat, I Show Speed is a very popular streamer on Twitch. Twitch is one of the most famous streaming platforms out there. He's very popular on Twitch and on YouTube, and he's basically just, he goes places, he streams games, he streams scary games, usual, very popular YouTuber. And he was in the Royal Rumble. Joe, I don't know if you remember this or you guys remember this, but he entered the Royal Rumble and then got speared and eliminated by Braun Breaker. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah, of course.
That's I Show Speed. He's actually a YouTuber. And he was also in the Randy Orton match of WrestleMania 40, which I was there for.
Oh yeah, they used it. I mean, he was like a rubber band. They just bling. They just knocked him out. It was ridiculous.
Yeah,
that to me that made absolutely no sense.
It made absolutely no sense, but it was hilarious. It was funny.
I'll tell you what I always wanted to do, and I did do it once, and that is I ran a local wrestling show in Brooklyn, New York years ago. And it was a pretty good event, which was highlighted. I believe it was Tony Gurria versus one of the Samoans, and I was involved with these local independent promoters, and that was a lot of fun. That really was a lot of fun. And but to get them down there, it's hard. These small arenas that they don't do anymore, I wish they did, because if they did, we'd be able to do it again. So a lot of it's a lot of fun. Wrestling is incredible. You follow wrestling, you follow the guys, the girls, and back in my day, the midgets. It was just, you would just forget about reality. Go ahead, TJ.
All right, let's move on to SmackDown. And in the chat, if you look, Joe, you can see there are some people in here that know I Show Speed. He gets literally, I'm not even joking, millions of views live when he streams. It is crazy. He's wild. Anyway, so let's go for tonight's episode of SmackDown, which just happened. All right, so show kicks off with Drew McIntyre pulling up in a white truck, right? And then he pulls up, and then Nick Aldis says, "Yo, dude, like, come on, you're suspended. You're not supposed to be here." And then Drew was like, "Okay, you know what? Fine, I'm pissed off about it, but whatever." And he gets back in his car, and then he gets nuts, and then Cody Rhodes sneak attacks him in the car and slams his head up against the steering wheel. And then Drew McIntyre drives away, and then Cody waltzes out onto the ring, and then Cody basically says to the camera, "Nick Aldis, I'm going to need you to unban Drew McIntyre from this arena because I want Drew McIntyre, and I'm really mad at him." It was actually a pretty good promo made by Cody Rhodes and pretty good, acting there. I think it really does show how Cody Rhodes, get into character super quickly. And it definitely displayed his rage during that moment. Now, I do have a question. Do we think, first for Joe and you guys, do we think that Cody Rhodes should have, one, either lost the title, or two, turned heel?
No and no.
Why not?
Because Cody is WWE right now. He got it. He really got it from John Cena, and they can't. They've gone too far. Who are you really going to put up front? You're not going to put Braun Breaker. He's not ready yet.
No, not yet.
He's not popular. Cody Rhodes, wherever he goes, there's a pop, no matter what. I mean, to me, I think he could sell out any arena and any platform right now. And they're making a big mistake if they take the title away from him even one day again, until there's somebody that the fans are going to really either boo, really hard, or cheer very hard. To me, there is nobody to replace Cody Rhodes right now. They're all good, but they're not good enough to be the champions at right now. Those days right now are over, retired. Stone Cold, The Rock, Jericho, all of those guys, they don't exist right now. And they need a body. They need to bring somebody in that's going to rock the crowd. And I don't see it. Maybe they could turn somebody like Gunther around, but it just won't work. There is nobody as popular as Cody Rhodes right now. Not even Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns.
I don't know. Roman Reigns pretty up there. He's pretty up there.
But he can't commit. He can't commit the way Cody Rhodes does. Don't forget, he's still got kind of an illness, and he's not exactly 20 years old anymore. He's not. He's only going to wrestle certain events. And you need a champion to be around all the time. You need the champ like a Hulk Hogan, people like that. That's what you need. If you can't give them that, you are not going to be champion in the WWE.
No, I mean, I completely see what you're saying. That Cody is a really good frontman for WWE. I just do see that he is losing a little bit of pop from the audience, because there are a lot of portions of the wrestling fan base, that do believe that Drew McIntyre should be champion, or not just Drew McIntyre, but Cody should, turn heel, and that they're getting sick of this Cody Rhodes, ultimate quarterback babyface that he is right now. But that's a story for another time. Ilya Dragunov does his open challenge like he usually does, which I'm glad that they are bringing that back. That's a side note, but I'm glad that they're honoring the legacy of the U.S. title open challenge. And it's Ilya Dragunov versus Carmelo Hayes, and Ilya Dragunov retains the championship with help from Tommaso Ciampa. Ilya Dragunov didn't call in Tommaso Ciampa. Ciampa just wanted to screw over Carmelo Hayes. He attacked him. But the ref and, Ilya were also down, so they had no idea what was happening. Ilya kind of just won the match, and he retained. Now, we had a conversation about Ilya Dragunov, and when he first won the championship, back when he beat Sami Zayn for it. Now, my question to you now is, Joe, has your mindset changed regarding him, because you were pretty negative towards him in the beginning?
No, it hasn't changed one bit. And I'll tell you, I do agree with Victor. Drew McIntyre should be the Intercontinental Champion. You want to put a champion on him, put it on there. And then you can have a big one at WrestleMania, being the fact that it's 2 nights. Well, you know what? You can fight for both titles. And they can work an angle like that. But what you're saying now means absolutely nothing to me.
I see it. I see it. I haven't even thought of that. Thank you, Victor. Putting another title on Drew McIntyre. Take it off of Dominic Mysterio. Put it on Drew McIntyre. I mean, honestly,
he's a bozo. Mysterio, to me, he's just nothing but a bozo.
He's winning over the crowd, though. He's winning him. He's winning them over. He is.
I don't know. I'm not. I'm sick of that. The tippy nose with the. Oh my God, I can't take it. They make me sick. They make me sick. It's the storyline is ridiculous. Enough already. Either you're going to turn or you're going to stay together. This is what's angering ESPN and Netflix, because the storylines right now are weak. You need something big. Where is it? Where is it? Everything's in a shambles.
Yep.
And it's just terrible.
No, yeah. I mean, there's definitely a lot of inconsistency when it comes to, these new storylines. I think that is definitely an area where they need to improve 100%. But besides that, next thing that happened, Alexa Bliss versus Kairi Sane. Now, I made a short. That is actually like my first actually really successful short about Kairi Sane. And what I said was basically this. I said, I love Kairi Sane. She is just so talented in the ring. You know, she flies high. She gets up there. I think she right now is the female equivalent of like Montez Ford or Javon Evans, because she gets up there. She's bouncy, just like Javon Evans. Your boy is bouncy. I mean, she gets up there. She's so fun to watch. She is agile. I mean, she's just so, she's talented in the ring. She can be technical when she needs to be. I think she's just an overall great talent. And in this match, Alexa Bliss beat Kyrie Sane, but then was attacked after the match by Nia Jax and Lash Legend. Now, regarding this guys and Joe, how do we feel about Nia Jax and Lash Legend? I mean, it's an interesting duo. How do we feel about this?
I don't even know. I don't even know if she's coming or going. I don't even think they know if she's coming or going. Matter of fact, I believe either there are a couple. She's hooked up with one of the wrestlers. I'm not sure. I don't remember which one it was. I just saw it on one of the channels. I don't remember, but again, that's another thing. They gotta concentrate. Maybe, one of the things that might make sense, TJ, the SmackDown and Raw may have to go back as one, because you can have them going back and forth, because you have certain good wrestlers in Raw and certain good wrestlers at SmackDown. They're going to have to one day now put them together. I don't say don't have SmackDown or don't have Raw, but they're going to have to go back and forth. They got to go back to that situation, because there's not enough. There's good talent, but not enough to sell tickets. And if they sell tickets, a lot of it is free or whatever, but it's not helping the networks. That's the problem.
No, yeah, I mean, I do see that. Again, there are a lot of inconsistencies, and Victor says here, the problem today with factions are the names and who's in the faction. There's only 14. There's only one for Horseman Heart Foundation, NWO, NOD, and they lost creativity. I think I agree with you, but here's the thing. It is kind of hard to compare today's factions to these legendary foundations like the Heart Foundation, NWO, NOD. Like you got these just absolute staples in wrestling history, because they were the first of their kind. These factions are trying to follow in the footsteps, and I mean, obviously you're never going to best them, because that is the best of the best. They did it so incredibly well. They won the fans over. I mean, it was amazing. Hulk Hogan turning was one of the greatest heel turns of all time, because of that faction. It was so powerful. It had a movement behind it. And it's just hard to compare now factions to those factions.
And they got to bring back the so-called Piper's Pit. They got to bring back the flower shop. They got to bring back these things, because this is what made it happen. There's nothing. It's just not there. The energy's not there. I would love to have another Piper's Pit. I would love, in rest, just to do something. Or just have somebody really be a really bad heel. I mean, get away from me. Do this, do that. All the things Ted DiBiase used to do. It's no longer there. It worked. Uh-huh. Then they have a lull. Now it's time to bring it back. And I don't understand why they don't.
I don't know. It's a very weird situation, but moving on from that, we had a very short-lived match between Jade Cargill versus Alba Fire. Jade Cargill beat her up a little bit, did her finisher 1, 2, 3 done. Nothing really too much to say about this. Jade Cargill won, whatever. I honestly think that was just a match like placeholder.
I want to see Tiffany Stratton beat the crap out of her.
Well, I mean, you're just super biased towards Tiffany Stratton.
I can't help it. I mean, she's She's everything. She's a good worker. She's an incredible a person. She's everything. I don't understand. They're putting her aside. It makes no sense. No sense.
Yeah, but I mean, I agree with you that she's one of the best talents on the roster, but also she had a pretty good run. And I do think that at some point we do have to pass the crown. No pun intended to Jade Cargill, but I do think that I think that Tiffany Stratton's hourglass when it came to that title reign was running short. It was getting a little repetitive. If I'm being honest, I love Tiffany Stratton, but that it was getting a little repetitive. It might have been because she kept facing Nia Jax. And I was just like, oh my god, this is so annoying.
Well, you know what? Sean Browning brings up one of my dream matches. I would love to see Tiffany Stratton against Stephanie McMahon.
Wait, yeah.
Oh, I would do that live. I would definitely do that live. That would be incredible. That would be such a great match. Oh my God. And then throw in as a referee Ronda Rousey. That would be awesome.
I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about Tiffany Stratton versus Stephanie McMahon. That's a great match. Great suggestion, Sean. That's fantastic.
Yeah, that really is. That Sean, that you definitely have a good eye for wrestling, Sean. We're gonna have you on very soon. You know your era wrestling, and we want the people to hear what you have to say because you do have a great memory of yesteryear. And you and Lou Edwards, by the way, gives his best to everyone. He really enjoyed being here, and as soon as he can, he's going to come back and he's going to give all of his thoughts of modern day wrestling this time. So look for that, everyone. We're gonna work on that, and we're gonna work on doing Saturday night's main event, the Royal Rumble, and then eventually the WrestleManias. So a lot to look forward here, folks. A lot. Go ahead.
Yeah, 100%. Next thing on the card, very minor thing. Solo Sikoa and the MFTs came out, and then they got attacked by the Wyatt Six. Nothing too crazy. Wyatt Six stood on top. Faces win that one, but nothing too much to say. I want to hop into the main event, which just happened, and I don't even want to think about it, but I have to. LA Knight versus Gunther for the spot for John Cena's last opponent. The match ended with LA Knight tapping out to Gunther. How dare you guys do LA Knight last night? I'm sorry. I hate this call so incredibly much. Gunther is bound to have more opportunities with titles. You gave him so much already. You already gave him so much power. But you guys are putting up LA Knight. You're bringing him up just to shoot him back down. He had one good run with the U.S. title and then just stopped. And then they just keep bringing him up, and then he just doesn't win. He's put in all these Money in the Bank matches, doesn't win. In 2023, if he won the Money in the Bank briefcase, this would be a completely different story. But he didn't because they're just not pushing LA Knight. They're just not doing it. And the fans are asking, please push LA Knight. We want you to push LA Knight. Please, we want him to be John Cena's last opponent if it's not going to be Edge or if it's not going to be Jericho or if it's not going to be Ziggler. We want it to be LA Knight. And they're just not doing it. And they're just doing whatever they want. They're having Gunther do this because that's a good person, it's a good person to just kind of fill the place and have this fire match with John Cena. I don't care about Gunther. He already had his stuff. I was never the biggest Gunther fan. I don't know. I mean, he's a good wrestler and all, but LA Knight is just so much more over, and I think he deserves it a lot more, especially with the way he's been treated. Now, Joe and the chat, how do we feel about this? Because I'm feeling enraged about this decision.
Oh, boy, I can see a short coming out. I see a short coming out, guys. You got to follow TJ on this one. Oh boy, I definitely see it. Yeah, I think they screw around with LA Knight too much. He's a good worker, and he's always getting the short end of the stick. And I think eventually he's going to turn. He's definitely going to turn. And they're going to have another good guy in his place. But I think he's eventually going to be a villain. No question in my mind. And be honest with you, in the chat they said, "Hey Joe, if you were a wrestling manager of some kind, well, who I would manage him, and I would call myself the Sicilian. That's what I would call myself, the Sicilian Stomper. That would be my name. So, I come out there, with all the Italian look and all kinds of good stuff. It'd be a lot of fun. So I would be called. I always wanted to be called the Sicilian Stomper. Just the Sicilian, really. That would be funny.
We got a crazy take coming in here from Big Mama 2025. Shouldn't be either. Should have given him Brock again and got his payback. I thank you for putting in the suggestion. That is just something that I think is completely over. I think they gave Brock too many chances with Cena. Over the years, I think it's just I think they've given Brock Lesnar too many chances. I don't know. He's just gotten like everything just because he's like this UFC fighter. Okay, dude. I don't care.
Enough's enough with that. He's come on. He's basically past his time. I mean, enough. Listen. You have NXT. You have all these wrestlers, these wrestling shows. They got to come up with somebody new, somebody that looks the part, plays the part, feels the part, is the part. You need that. We need new blood, and that's what we need in the WWE. New blood. Enough.
Exactly. We need more people. We need more people. We need more young people to replace these people that are retiring. I mean, next year AJ Styles is retiring, as we saw on his Twitter post. That hourglass is running out. All these people that we're seeing now, these people that we love now. I don't know how long Rey Mysterio is gonna go, but I thought Rey would have been retired by now. But
well, you did hear? Did you hear that his daughter's just about ready to jump in the ring?
Yeah, I heard some stuff about that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to happen real soon, and they're gonna treat her with kid gloves. I have a feeling she'll start out as a baby face, and then they may turn her. They just might. TJ, before you do the final comments, I wanted to just get a couple of things that I want everybody to know. As we're growing, everyone, please remember to subscribe to NY Yankee Mania and to Total Turnbuckle Talk. And the only way you're going to find out what we're doing is by you subscribe, and you also press that like button and open up that notification. And you'll know when TJ puts out a short, when I put out a short, anything happening on both channels as we simulcast this wonderful concept. And we're gonna simulcast all pay-per-views, play-by-play. The other day, that last week's stream was amazing. TJ did a great job.
Thank you.
He got a really good rating. He was into it. He was standing up, screaming, doing everything. And our middle guy, who I don't want to mention his name, he did a great job too. And unfortunately, he's going to come back and be the third wheel again, and we just can't get rid of him, TJ. I may have to go in the ring with him.
I have no idea what to do with him.
I don't either. He's like, ooh, I'm Jesse. I'm like Jesse the Body Ventura. He's so into himself. I want to punch him in the face.
Exactly. He gets me angry all the time.
I don't feel like getting a lawsuit. But he's won one match in his whole life. And how did he win it? Because the manager was ringing the bell because he felt bad for him. And right away the referee didn't know what to do. He was dazed. and he raised his hand. How do you think he won the match?
Exactly.
Give me a break. You lost 100 matches.
Exactly. Come on, bro.
And he comes on like this big, the bigger man. I'll give you a big man. Go in the ring. I'll give you the big man.
Exactly. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to this Raw recap and review. Joe, is there any final comments before I say before I do my signature outro?
No, just that look for next week's stream. Either we go live on Friday night or we're going on live at prime time for Saturday night's main event, the last call of John Cena.
Yep. All right, you guys ready? All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode of live Raw and SmackDown recap. If you did enjoy this, please smash the like, subscribe, and turn on those post notifications so you never, ever, 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 ever miss another banger upload like this. Go subscribe to New York Yankee Mania. He posts some amazing baseball stuff on there and all other sports-related news. Go subscribe to me. I'm Total Turnbuckle Talk. We are simulcasting this right now. It's on his channel and my channel. Go check it out. I post shorts all the time regarding all wrestling news, regarding all wrestling matchups and wrestling predictions. So go check it out because I am I'm consistent, and subscribing's free. You could always unsubscribe when you want to, but it really helps me out if you press the button. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yes, look for the shorts on my channel. Look for the shorts on Joe's channel. We're having a fantastic time doing this, and the only way we can keep doing it is if you guys subscribe and turn on those post notifications and up those videos. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Have an amazing night. Have an amazing night. Love you guys. Thank you so much for having another successful show. Really appreciate it.
And yes, and we'll see you in the ring, everyone. And we will let you know in plenty of time if it's going to be Friday night after SmackDown or live for the grand finale of John Cena. We'll see you next week, everyone. Have a great week. God bless you all. God bless America. And here's to you. See you at ringside, everyone. Good night.
Good night, everyone.